This Minnesota Vikings betting preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast brought to you by Circus Sports. Circus Sports is giving away $14 million this NFL season. Sign up in Vegas and play from anywhere. Get all the info over at circusports.com. We're also brought to you by our Patreon. Score exclusive perks, content, and contests, including our NFL win totals contest with $8,000 prize. Join today at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
Hey, this is Jeremy Roenick, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride, baby.
Cox.
He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Imagine if the Vikings had their boat trip today. Mayhem would assume Lizzo would be there. I think, right?
Lizzo would be the captain of the boat trip, according to the accusations we saw.
Can we get an update of the Odell boat trip meme with Lizzo in there?
Oh man!
Well, what about the shirtless New York Giants boat trip picture? But just get Lizzo in there somewhere. Maybe make Lizzo a mermaid in the water. Oh. Ooh.
That's the closest I got for the Lizzo boat trip.
Would people be upset if we got one of those motion Photoshop deals and got Lizzo onto the baby whale in that YouTube video? She's canceled now. We can make fun of her.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Right.
Lizzo apparently with some Northwestern like tactics to her.
Sounded much worse. I didn't hear any talk of a car wash.
No, there was no car wash. Eating bananas at a certain places, fat shaming her body, her dancers. It's sad times.
If you're working for SGPN and you opt into a strip club excursion,
that's why. I mean, again, you can't as an employer, you can't take your independent contractors out to strip clubs. All right, creates some blurry lines there.
Yeah, I'll never forget it. When I joined Hulu as a company, the head of HR at the time was a very flamboyant guy, and he did the sexual harassment training. And his whole message was you can't control how someone's going to perceive you. Ooh. He then proceeded to rub the shoulders of the guy who looked most uptight in the room. So go figure. That one's tough. Maybe he had some Lizzo tactics of his own. Anyway, speaking of Lizzo and inappropriate stuff. The Minnesota Vikings.
Vikings. Interesting team. Ryan, I mean, we are on podcast number 3 of the day, a triple header. We of course knocked out the Atlanta Falcons preview. Kramer and I did not see eye to eye on the Atlanta Falcons. Then we did our Hall of Fame game picks. Yeah, throw out a couple little plays there and early look at Week 1 NFL DFS. Got some sweet stacks in there. I mean, it's so fun to do the $5 Millie Maker because you can just do so many. It's a plus EV opportunity. Right?
I've built 2 lineups since we stopped recording. So.
Yes. Also obviously a plus EV opportunity, signing up for our Patreon because it creates the value of sticking it to corporate gambling, helping out the Sports Gambling Podcast, SGPN, and is scoring some sweet perks for you, exclusive merch. We're going to be releasing old episodes and videos from the archives, our bonus SGP stories, ad-free podcast as well. A lot of cool behind the scenes stuff there that we'll be putting out. And one of the contests, our $1,000 NFL win totals contest, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon to get started today. Kramer, Minnesota Vikings, you know how their season ended. You were there.
Oh, what an absolute. I mean, all right. So taking it a step back, I do like the spaceship. I like the idea of Vikings still being allowed to be mascots. I like the idea of there being a human mascot for the Vikings, and I like the idea that they do that skull thing. That's pretty awesome. Like if
skull.
If there's one thing that another fan base did,
it does make me want to have a lipper. I know it's what does actually skull mean? It's
like a Viking chant. Right?
Yeah. Okay.
It's not like skull with an A. It's SKOL.
No, but it's hard for me not to think.
Pretty sure it's what they did while they were up above a village before they ran down, murdered everyone, and impregnated the women.
Yeah.
I think that's probably what happened. But we can still call them Vikings. We're cool. They're in the North. A shout out. This is basically a whole Canada podcast. Threw Jeremy Roenick in there because why not? Basically, he's America's Canadian.
There you go.
And then I got the Winnipeg shirt on.
Oh yes.
Shout out to the Blue Bombers.
Yeah.
CFL.
Shout out to Kyle, legendary Vikings fan. Now the 2022 Minnesota Vikings. What a team! 13-5 straight up. Of course, they 0-1 in the playoffs. 7-10-1 against the spread. Their win total was set at 9. They hit the over. We both had them slightly under at 8-9. No one saw this 13-5 season coming, and the stats,
even the numbers didn't see it coming.
The stats, they broke every sort of model. I mean, 11-0 in 1-score games, and the 7-point loss against the Giants, that was the only loss that was less than 11 points. So every other loss, they just got completely destroyed. And then they won an insane amount of 1-score games. I mean, games that you kind of will remember for years. I mean, I remember where I was watching that Colts game, seeing that Minnesota was plus 2,000 live. And I'm like, should I get in? I'm like, no way. They come all the way back. Of course, they're going up against Jeff Saturday. They come back 32 unanswered points to win that game. They won that Bills game, which was, I've never seen anything like that where the Bills are running out the clock. It's like Miracle in the Meadowlands type stuff. They fumble the snap. I mean, just crazy games.
Is it fair to say that at some point we can embrace the idea that maybe this team captured a little magic, and the close wins ended up being a result of their belief in each other, and some of that shit that you hear about championship teams. Now, obviously, this is like an all time, like we can since 2000, since 19. There's all these since long time ago. Yes. This is the only team. This is the first team. This is the worst of that. This is the best of this. But at some point, they do have to get a little bit of credit for winning. New coach, right?
Are you building them up because the Giants beat them in the playoffs?
No. I have plenty of chopping them down as well.
Listen to this stat. This is a stat that blew my mind. They finished 4-3 against teams with a winning record. Usually a good sign, but they had a negative 47 point differential.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah, I mean that just is wild.
I would say in general,
and it wasn't like they didn't have any crazy QB injury. Justin Jefferson didn't blow out his ACL. Like it's very bizarre.
Yeah, obviously negative point differential, obviously negative yardage, yards per play.
29th in net yards per play, and they were 13-4. How the hell does that happen?
Well, obviously you look at the losses. They lost every game by I'm sorry. They averaged 22 points in their losses, being defeated by over 3 touchdowns. That's one of the ways you create skewed metrics, right? Now, again, I do think it's unfair to give them no credit for performing well in 1-score games. Obviously, 11-0 in 1-score games, 11-1 if you include the playoffs, 11-0 in the regular season in 1-score games. I do think, yes, that's a massive outlier. For only team to do it in the last like 23 seasons or something like that. I'm sorry, the Texans and the 2012 Texans, my 2012 Texans back in the good old days, and the 2021 Bucks were the only other 2 teams in the last 10 years to go undefeated in 1-score games. Even so, yes, outlier. They still did it. They still have a general collection of the same talent, and I think most people would agree the defense at minimum is going to take a step forward in trying to do something this year. So. Obviously they take a step back. And the big thing I was circled, because you argued with me on the Giants episode, but I think the thing that encapsulates this season perfectly without being a nerd and looking at all these yardage and crazy point metrics, they were 13-4 and they went 7-10 against the spread.
Yes.
Now I pointed this out when the Giants like overperformed, but also covered the spread. Like it's a slightly different framing. And so, yeah, I think for the Vikings, that's where I would lean into it. Like they were a good team in the eyes of the public, but there's so many smart people now that the spread caught up to it, and they were still underperforming the spread. And so that's where I would build my thesis around. This team is due for a massive step back, but they went 13-4 and their win total is 8.5. So how big is the step back?
Yeah, it's weird. It's like they can have a decent step back and still go over their number.
What's 13 minus 8.5?
13 minus 8.5, 4.5.
4.5. Do you know how many wins they overperformed by last year according to Pythag? 4.5.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
So,
crazy. So
they're predicting a symmetrical pendulum swing over a small sample size of 2 seasons. I think even the nerds would agree that maybe isn't the way it works.
fourth, they do have some stuff coming their way as far as regression stuff. They were actually 4th worst in the league in field goal luck. So that's something.
They're a dome team too. There's no excuse for that.
Yeah. Well, some of it is the other team, how well they kick their field goals. Yeah. 5th lowest in games lost due to injury. So that could go a little wonky for them. Again, 9 victories when they were down at half. You mentioned the defense. To me, I think one of the more underrated moves this year in the NFL is them bringing in Brian Flores as their defensive coordinator. I think that's a huge pickup, and I think they still have a relatively young secondary with, you could say, maybe lacking top tier talent. However, I think if there is someone that's going to be able to coach up the talent they do have on that roster and get the most out of it, I think it might be Brian Flores. I mean, he loves the blitz. He creates turnovers. They were in 2020, 9th in the league. 2021, they were 2nd in turnovers. So, 6th in turnovers, 2nd in blitzes. Like, they bring some pressure, which I think could create some opportunities for this Vikings defense.
It's an interesting debate because obviously last year they had the lowest blitz rate. They kind of just lined up and play, let the play happen in front of them and make the tackle, which, I guess we'll see how good this defense is, because in some ways, if you start blitzing and creating pressure, you're creating more pressure on that young back end that didn't exactly perform well last year. So, I think Flores could be in a sticky situation. For him to play the style of ball he wants to play is a stark change from last year. And the thing when you drop back and you sit back and you let it all happen in front of you is you're never going to look stupid. You're never going to get sillied. And I think if Brian Flores comes out here with we also know Brian
kept him in some games.
We also know Brian Flores is a stubborn motherfucker. We also know Brian Flores has had pretty good secondaries for the majority of a lot of those years in New England, certainly in Miami with Howard. He's had a guy in his secondary. And so that becomes the question: can one of these young guys or Byron Murphy become a guy?
Yeah. One guy that we know from The Sims, Ryan, the hitman, Harrison Smith. He, by all accounts, he's like getting a ton of training camp hype as a guy that Flores has been moving around, putting in some good positions.
He's kind of old though,
some flexibility. Yeah, but I think a new defense, an aggressive guy like Brian Flores,
34,
letting Harry the Hitman go.
One hit, and we could be without Harry.
I think that. I mean, who else are there? Who else are there? Big playmakers on defense? Danielle Hunter. Who else are you expecting to get some?
I think for this to work, right? If you're generating pressure through the blitz, you might not need a full dominant performance from any one of the front 7 guys, because it becomes that collective, kind of like the Wink Martindale defense, where you're not expecting massive sack totals from any one guy, but anyone can get to the quarterback on any play. That's kind of how the scheme works. So it all comes down to can the back end hold up? Can your who was the kid they drafted? Andrew Booth, Lewis Seen. Like, you have a bunch of young guys you drafted recently. You signed Byron Murphy. Let's bring up the new acquisition, but bringing up Murphy. So someone on that back end has to do something, because I do think he's going to get pressure.
Yeah.
It just, when he doesn't get home, is the back end holding up?
Well, and
2 of these guys, like Andrew Booth and Lewis Seen, were rookies last year. So second year, gotta hope a step forward.
You generally struggle a little bit rookie year as a cornerback. I mean, losing Patrick Peterson, much as he's older, he still had some good snaps from them.
No. I mean,
You don't think so?
Well, here's what I'll say. He is one of the few people that Isaiah Hodgins had a highlight when it came to him beating him speed wise. I don't know if he necessarily, like, maybe he was a leadership piece. Maybe he was important in the locker room.
He had 5 interceptions.
But honestly, losing Dell, I mean, I know a lot of the smart people out there are big.
PFF graded him 80.7. So I'm just saying, I don't think he was a liability at the very least, and 5 picks.
All right, I guess I don't really see anyone they lost as a massive deal. Maybe Dalvin Tomlinson.
Well,
feels big.
We haven't even talked about Dalvin Cook. Obviously, he's not coming back. Alexander Madison getting up the bump up.
The data says that Cook was not. He's cooked. Cook is cooked.
Yeah, I don't know though. I mean, he still had some explosiveness that Alexander Madison. I get it. He looked decent in the times he was replacing Dalvin Cook and being the lead guy, but can he kind of do everything? Can he completely fill that void? I guess that Dalvin Cook is leaving.
Yes.
Really?
Okay. I've also watched. I mean, Dwayne McBride looks fucking sexy as hell in training camp.
Yeah. Again,
Ty. I'm blanking on his name. What's his last name? Ty. Fuck. I've trained so hard for the bare knuckle.
Well, I mean, I get it. I'm usually not a guy that running backs. Again, I think drafting a running back high is stupid.
Ty Chandler. I apologize.
And investing a ton of draft capital, but. You know, Dalvin Cook did start 17 games. Normally, the issue with Dalvin Cook was staying healthy. He actually had a full healthy season.
A lot of those guys did.
1,173 yards, 8 touchdowns, 4.4 yards per attempt. Now, 4.4 yards was his lowest in his career, but still, 8 touchdowns, 1,100 yards, still pretty good amount of production. You think they're not going to miss a step in the ground game with Alexander?
I think going from Thielen.
I think a slight decline.
I think losing Thielen, potentially you lose a reliable route runner around the red zone.
Yeah.
But you have Justin Jefferson, you have Hawkinson, you bring in Addison. I'm not worried there. I think the running back situation will be fine. Again, this is a McVay system.
Yeah.
They'll figure it out.
No, the Hawkinson pickup was huge. And I think if you were worried about losing the reliability of an Adam Thielen, you know, hey, Jordan Addison comes in, he's a sexy rookie. It's interesting, but I think Hawkinson, whatever you were worried about losing with Adam Thielen, I think you get back with Hawkinson.
Yeah, and I would say my take on this team in terms of my mind was changed on as I went through this process is I like them even more in fantasy because I think the way that I think the way they're going to play defense, to your point, is going to allow for very high scoring games.
Yeah,
because I trust that their offense will put up points. I think their O-line is fine.
Well, that's why I had Kirk in my top 10 because I think he's just going to get a shit ton of yards.
So again, Thielen gone, don't care.
No,
Dalvin Cook gone, don't care. A lot of smart football people think Mensa's doing a good job, and it looks like he's recycling the roster. Here's what I'll ask you.
Yes,
because I feel like this is something that there is legit both sides of the coin on. Some people feel like the Vikings aren't competing this year. Some people are saying that the signals and the way that the way they spent money in free agency is not indicating a team that is playing for the now. On the other side of the coin, this is Kirk Cousins last year.
Yeah.
They don't have a ton of cap space. It's not like they saved all the money. They do have some dead cap on the books. They're fairly low on active spending, but you know, I don't think Brian Flores or you know, I don't think anyone on the staff is interested in a 2-year situation here. I don't think Kevin O'Connell's looking to build for a new quarterback next year. I think these narratives, these NBA narratives that are leaking into the NFL are out of control. So I look at this roster. I look what they did in the offseason. I see a team that's trying to get this is Kirk Cousins' last go with the Vikings.
Yeah.
So let's see what we can do with it.
Yeah. Who is saying I don't understand that they're not competing? Like, what are you talking about? They gave up. What did they give up for Hawkinson? It was a decent amount, and that was last year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
well, that's also the thing where like when the smart community likes a guy, they're just going to compliment the moves they like and not mention the moves they don't like. It's just like Ryan Poles in Chicago. Everyone's like, "Oh, smart guy, smart guy. He only does smart things." And then it's like 2 inside linebackers with all your money. I thought that was dumb.
They're paying Kirk Cousins a bunch of money, and yeah, I mean, could we bring up the draft picks again? Like, I think they didn't draft a quarterback. I mean, they drafted Jaron Hall. They didn't draft a quarterback. Like, if they would have drafted Will Levis, maybe you could talk me into it. But even Will Levis is clearly a guy who's going to sit this first year. I mean, Addison is a win now first round pick. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm with you though.
Eighth in the league in dead cap this year.
Yeah,
they are bottom 10 in active, bottom 8 in active spending. And so I guess some people are talking themselves into the idea that, I don't know. I think that, like, if anything, I think
their division's wide open. The first year you don't have Aaron Rodgers in your division.
Also,
I mean, you're competing against Justin Fields, Jared Goff, and Jordan Love, and you're gonna pack it in. That's some pussy shit. I don't know. Brian Flores doesn't sign up for that shit. Right?
I think if anything,
if they're tanking, Brian Flores didn't get that memo.
If anything, I mean, it was the same thing with the Giants last year. If we're being honest, like, it was hey, this team's roster sucks. They're rebuilding. They have all this dead cap. Eagles a couple of years before that, right? All this dead cap. They're not going to be good now.
Yeah, and Eagles ended up going. No,
that's my point. This team doesn't the presence of one of the top 5 quarterbacks in the conference makes them winning now. That's the ultimate take. When you look at the division, and you have to legitimately have a debate with yourself. Is it Jared Goff or is it Kirk Cousins? Who's the
Imagine throwing in the towel for the NFC North. Oh, the Lions and Goff, Fields and the Bears. Oh, the Jordan Love.
Skull.
I don't even want to compete against Jordan Love. What are we talking about? That's insane. Kyle P's in the chat. Said, I'm late tuning in, but I'm glad I got to check in before the pod ended.
Oh, nice.
This is the Vikings division. Bet it now. We've
said this multiple times in the office. It's like
that's why I love my Vikings Packers 1-2 exacta box at plus 750. Cause I do think
100%.
Those are the 2 teams I really like the most in this division.
Yep. Got that.
And I'm going back and forth.
Can we give it out on both shows?
Yeah, I guess so. Right. Cause it is
synergy. It's like a Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what the teams I mentioned earlier that were undefeated in 1-score games, the 2012 Texans and the 2021 Bucks? Do you want to know what happened to them the next year?
Sure.
8-13 in 1-score games combined.
Okay.
Which that's a lot of close games. That was more my takeaway than anything.
So I think maybe they go, maybe they're 4-6 in 1-score games, and then still I don't know. My gut instinct tells me this is, again, I mean,
their schedule's average. I think this is
this is hilarious. Their win total was 9 last year. Yeah. They won 13 or 8.5, and they won 13 games, and now it's still 8.5. Like we've really come full circle. Like back years ago, like when we were first doing the podcast, this would have been just a sneaky lock under, because the total would be like 11.5 or something crazy.
Were the win totals even out at this time when we first started doing the show? That's a joke.
Brain can't even go back
I'm
that
just
far.
saying we were doing.
Let's take a look at their odds here. Win total set at 8.5. Make playoffs plus 104. Miss playoffs minus 120. Division plus 275. Conference 18-1. Super Bowl 35-1. Yeah, I don't know if I love that division price in and of itself alone. We'll walk through it, but I do like that exacta.
Why not?
Exacta.
Why
box.
do you not like the division price?
Because I think the Packers have a decent shot as well.
Well, yeah, but you can play both.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I already got down on Green Bay at 4-1.
Like, don't be a sucker to the better odds. What was the price? 275.
275.
All right, so let's play the math game, right?
I think it's more of a coin toss.
275 would mean we'll call it 27%.
Okay.
Do you think there's a 27% chance the Vikings win the division? If you think less, bad bet. If you think more, very easy bet to make.
All right. Maybe let's walk through the schedule here, Ryan.
I see what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's fucking Dan Campbell. Everyone's like, he wants a Lion. Roar.
I do love Dan Campbell's massive lippers. It's quite a rush. Almost as big of a rush as playing in the Circa Millions Circuit Survivor contest. Just the idea that you have a chance to win a share of $14 million. $14 million guaranteed. It doesn't matter how many people submit. Either way, they're giving away $14 million. No rake. Derek's not taking any rake. He just wants you to come experience Circa Sports. Get your sweet hat, get a handshake from Derek, and maybe get that giant check and that sweet, sweet, sweet Blue Jacket quarterly prizes, booby prizes. There really are a bunch of different ways to win the Circa Millions contest and Circuit Survivor. So fun, so fun. I mean, imagine just going on that heater, that sweat as the season goes along. Just electric. Sign up in Vegas, play from anywhere. We'll be there August 24th to the 26th for the ultimate contest sign up weekend. Circasports.com. Circasports.com. Let's go.
And just, I think I might have miscorrectly said 20 years. This was the biggest overperformance on the win based on points scored points against in 22 years. So this millennium, Vikings were the luckiest team. Shout out to Kirk Cousins. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. We've gotten this far into the show, and like,
how much of quarterback did you get through? I watched like
enough
2.5 episodes,
enough
maybe,
to understand why everyone's falling in love with Kirk Cousins. And I'm proud to report not falling in love with Kirk Cousins.
I mean, I don't hate Josh over at youtube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast production team put up some sweet. I mean, we've gone this far and haven't even talked about Kirk Cousins rocking those crazy chains. There's a great meme: 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins with the chains, primetime Kirk Cousins, Buzz Lightyear.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he did kind of win some primetime games last year.
Did he?
Yeah, I mean, we don't want to talk about it though.
Okay, but still pretty good trend to fade him in primetime games.
I think what we learned last year is he's unfortunately been trending in the wrong direction for us faders of late. As he ages, maybe he can stay up later. I don't know. That seems backwards.
Ryan, you're just saying that because they play the Eagles in Thursday Night Football week 2.
No, that's a tremendously bad. They're gonna get their ass beat. All right, week 1. Yeah, so let's go through the schedule again. The win total, we've reached the 8.5s. Bucks week 1. Oh man, coming to the spaceship, laying 7.5 for the Vikings.
I mean, we talked about in the DFS show. I keep looking at that Bucks team. We'll see who ends up being the starter, but they might be a live dog, and I think Mike Evans could have a big game.
Can't run the ball, bad offensive line, Flores blitz. Let's hope Mike Evans and guys.
That's also true. That's also true.
I don't know if that's going to be a very.
I don't think I can grade it a win here, but see what happens week 1 pick show
at Eagles on Thursday night football.
That's a loss.
That spread feels a little light. If anything, Charger a lot light actually. Chargers at home week 3 into a road game against the Panthers on the long turf in Carolina. This is a tricky. This is a tougher start for them. The Chargers beating the the Chargers road game in Minnesota is basically a home game for the Chargers. Far away from home, nice Midwestern people around, and on turf inside. Like they're gonna.
It's a non-conference road game, but I mean
care.
that Vikings secondary, and that's the thing about this Vikings secondary. I think they can be okay as the season goes along, maybe. But Brian Flores has his work cut out for him in these first 3 games. I mean, the Bucks are 7.5 point dogs, but they still have Mike Evans and Chris Godwin. Then you got AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, then Keenan Allen, Mike Williams. Like that is a murderer's row of the first 3 games the receivers you're facing.
I'm looking at more like I think Flores can like do well enough weeks 1 and 4 because of the quarterback matchup.
That's true.
So I'm going to go 2-2.
2-2.
I'm kind of reading.
I could talk myself into it, the Vikings starting a little hot and then going cold late. I could see, but I'm looking at their last 5. It's not too crazy. I'll go 2-2.
D Bettis also 2-2, so he may be a little more positive on today's show. Chiefs. All right. So week 5. So we're both 2-2.
Yeah.
Then they have the Chiefs coming to town at Bears, 49ers on Monday Night Football primetime, and at Packers. That was a nice Excel there.
Interesting schedule, right? I mean,
so
I actually think they might. That feels like a game the Chiefs could randomly drop.
Chiefs have Denver on Thursday Night Football in a look ahead, and they're also coming off Sunday Night Football at New York against the Jets. So certainly
that's like the perfect situation to play the Chiefs. Week 5, maybe they're still figuring some stuff out. They have a Thursday game up ahead.
Patrick Mahomes against that secondary might be a problem.
Yeah, it's true. I again, like, look at those first 5 games.
Keeping it simple.
With the exception of the Panthers, I know everyone's really down on the Bucks. I'm gonna go 2-2. Although,
quick note: the Bears have a mini bye.
Okay,
off Thursday night.
So I think 4-4 sounds about right for this Vikings team, because I could have gone maybe 3-1 in those first 4, and then 1-3 here. So I think 4-4 overall feels about right for this Vikings team.
Aren't they going to really struggle? There's the offenses that are good that can keep up in a shootout. I do worry about the Vikings. They do have that nice home edge, but I feel like they have threatening home games here to start the season. And so, did you go here?
And they're playing the 49ers Monday night. You have 2 road division games and the Chiefs.
I think they all right. So they'll win one of the Niners or the Chiefs, right? But I think they'll drop the Bears game. You know what?
I think they'll randomly beat the Chiefs and the Bears, and then lose to the Packers.
2-2.
Yeah. So
2-2.
I think you're going to be surprised which 2 wins they get, but I'll go 2-2.
Yeah. That felt a little optimistic.
Yeah.
All right. So Falcons are,
but I feel like 2-2 is slightly pessimistic.
Back to back here, they have at Falcons, which
Kyle P, even a Vikings fan, said start 4-4 and then win 4 straight in the 3rd quadrant. So, calling his own quadrant shot here, Ryan.
At Falcons, and they have the Saints coming to town, at Broncos on Sunday Night Football, and then Bears on Monday Night Football.
Back to back Kirk Cousins primetime games.
So the obvious bad defenses in this stretch are the Bears and Falcons. Saints and Broncos might be trickier tests, but I mean, that road game against the Broncos in prime time, that's losable.
You could talk me into 3-1 here. Earl James is saying 0-8 for the
really.
Vikings.
What team does he show allegiance to? I like the hatred. Please share more of your hatred, sir.
Trevor is saying 4-8 overall. I'm surprised people are so down on the Vikings. I understand they're going to regress some, but I still think there's enough talent on this team, and you do have Justin Jefferson like that. I just don't think this.
All right. So where am I at right now?
You're 4-4. I was almost going to go 3-1 because of Kyle's confidence to go 4-0, but the double up primetime games,
but
at Broncos is tough, but at home against the Bears, you got to get that win.
They'll get that.
Saints, I think they could beat
2-2.
Falcons.
2-2.
Trash.
2-2. 2-2. It's 2-2. That's the answer. I'm at 6-6. I don't even have any good nuggets.
2-2.
Like Denver's coming off a game against Buffalo on Monday night. Is that worrisome?
But Ryan, like you said in the DFS show, the stuff coming out of Russell Wilson and camp is not good.
Could be bad. All right, so we're both at 6-6.
Yep.
All right, last late bye, that can go either way. And then they come out and it's at Raiders, at Bengals in back-to-back weeks. Raiders is a dome game, reminder. Then they have the Lions, a Packers game in prime time with another Lions game. So last year the Lions spoiled the Packers' chances. What if this year the Vikings spoil the Lions' chances? I do think that if you're giving me a shootout between the Lions and the Vikings, and I have Flores playing defense and Kirk Cousins playing quarterback, I think I would take the Vikings. So that's a minimum of a split for me.
Okay. I mean, for me, the Raiders game, definitely grading that as a win.
Yeah.
Bengals definitely a loss. They're not gonna go win outdoors in Cincinnati.
No,
late.
not that's when Cincy's good too.
That's when they're ready to shine. And then
so
I think maybe
that's
you beat Green Bay and split with the Lions.
3-2.
Yeah, 3-2 feels right. You're going 3-2 as well, Ryan.
I kind of think this is right. I gotta add the tab to the sheet here where we can see the standings, because I feel like we're in a tight. We've done 3 of the teams of the North now.
Yeah.
What do you think? I mean, so we're both 9-8 here.
Yep.
Bears, I am 7-10. You're 8-9.
Okay.
What, it's gonna be a tight lock, and then I'm 9-8 for the Packers, and you're 9-8 for the Packers.
Yeah, that's why I like the Green Bay Minnesota 1-2 at plus 750.
That should be exciting. And Detroit.
We don't have. Well, I mean,
Detroit coming next week on Monday night. So
we don't have. I don't want to tip my hand, but we don't have anyone in the NFC North winning 10 games.
Ooh.
Which maybe
Is that wrong?
You know what? I'm gonna go.
Do we want to bump the Vikings up 1?
I'm gonna bump the Vikings up to 10-7. That third quadrant, I'll go 3-1. Kyle P making some good points about Justin Jefferson being what Kirk Cousins needs to fix him in prime time. So 10-7 feels about right, and that's still a 3-game regression from previous. Yeah, that sounds about right. 10.
Yeah, I don't mind being a little higher.
Are you going 10-7, Ryan?
No, I'll keep it 9-8. They got the tiebreaker over the Packers.
Make playoffs. I actually like make playoffs at plus 104 too.
I'd rather just take the division. I don't like. I'd take the division, take the exacta that we gave out, the 750. You know, maybe Detroit holds serve and they're actually good.
I'm staying off. I guess I'll take division too. I
just don't think they're getting 2 teams out of this division, dude.
Yeah.
Although, what division is like? Where are the teams coming from?
They got to come from somewhere in the NFC.
This is tricky.
Yeah,
but I feel like we've gotten to that point in the Rubik's Cube where we got one whole side, and you're trying to rack your brain as to how the rest of it isn't solved and how you're supposed to take it.
I'll just go make playoffs. I'll go make playoffs. The Green Bay, Minnesota 1-2 at plus 750 over 8.5 wins. Any sort of player props you like, Ryan?
Well,
I mean, I don't know.
Well, I had a couple things I noted. One is it possible for Justin Jefferson to win Offensive Player of the Year again? Because why wouldn't he? This defense might be worse.
Okay.
They might have to throw more because they don't have the running game without Dalvin Cook, and Madison's already banged up. I don't know if we mentioned that, but in real time, Madison is currently banged up.
Yeah, again, that's why I'm not super high on Madison.
Do you have any interest in looking into a just running back Justin Jefferson? Price is too short, right?
What's a
13-1? He's the second favorite.
I don't think there's just a ton.
Kirk Cousins, all-time good guy, reflected in quarterbacks. Everyone loves him. 50-1 MVP.
No,
absolutely not. Right? Absolutely not.
No. Do we have the most passing yards market? Because that could be
for Kirk Cousins. Oh, so when we discussed this,
he's only 10-1.
Well, they know.
That's what I'm saying. I like that idea, but at that price, I don't know. I gave out Goff, Stafford because they're 18-1, 25-1. I'll stick on those guys.
Let's see. We could have a conversation about Addison in the rookie receiving yards market. He's only 3-1. I think this is a tough team this year. We can talk even about, if I don't agree with this one, but if you think Hunter is going to have himself a year and they're going to have lots of opportunity because they're in these shootouts and the scheme is freeing him up in more one-on-ones, he's 30-1 most sacks. To me, there's such quality at the top there. It's difficult.
What about just over 9.75 for Danielle Hunter? I mean, it's
I argued the other way though. I think Flores' scheme doesn't produce like single guy sack. I think a lot like the defense will get a lot of sacks, but they'll be spread around.
I mean, he's had 10.5 last year, 6 the year before, 14.5, 14.5, 7, 12.5. So 9.5 feels doable.
Again, it does seem like they could have a lot of opportunity.
Yeah, I'm just I'm slightly not as in on Madison as you are. I'm gonna take a look at his. Did they pull?
But
his
running backs don't matter.
Right, but that's why I still have them going 10 and 7. But I think it's going to be more a. Yeah, I mean Alexander Madison's at 900.5. I'm gonna take the under.
Okay, that's
because I think
that's
to your
probably
point,
a good bet.
Because to your point,
unders are better than overs.
There's one, I don't know if he's just never done it for a complete season. 2, I think they are kind of high on some of these other younger guys that could get some decent looks. 3, you just have so much passing options.
They have been clear, like very direct about the idea that they're fine with Madison carrying the load. So, I guess you got to read between the bullshit. Him getting hurt already, maybe they're changing that opinion and they want to, divvy it up a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, the most yards he's ever had in a season, Ryan. Guess what he's got to.
He's probably only ever started more than a couple games in a season. So what has he had, like a 400-yard season?
491.
Okay.
I just think you're asking for a guy who's going into year 5 for him to jump up to 900 yards.
Well, if he stays healthy and he's actually the guy like they're saying, he'll get that easy.
Right, but I just think there's so many ways that can go wrong. So yeah, give me the under. Under on Alexander Madison, 900.5 rushing yards. Make playoffs plus 104. Green Bay, Minnesota, exact a box 1 and 2 at plus 750. Minnesota over 8.5 wins. Vikings 10 and 7.
I have. What's your take on Jordan Hicks? Because he's 30-1 in the most tackles market. It kind of looks like he's going to project to be sucking up a lot of the tackles on this defense. And if they're bad, that generally leads to more tackles.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to be that bad. The
defense.
The defense.
That's what I'm saying. Like Hicks, he's kind of a, he's the 13th favorite, so it's not that juicy of a price.
Lead the league, you said,
in tackles and assists. Yeah, I
don't know. He's never been like a massive tackle guy.
Well, I mean, again, he's being put into a situation where maybe he could. I mean, I think 129 maybe is what I saw last year.
Yep.
I don't know. The last thing I have here is when you scroll over to the sucker bets, Justin Jefferson to have 8 100-yard games.
Okay.
How easy do you think that is?
8 100-yard games.
Because the price is even money. Fucking robbery.
That's way again.
Fucking robbery.
That's way. It's like
I hate that they do this. Don't show me these and then.
It's almost like an 8-game parlay.
Oh, it is.
It's an 8-game parlay where you're getting plus 100. So it's like those guys who parlay minus 400, minus 6,000, minus 1,200, blah blah blah. Yeah, no way I'm touching something like that.
And I've been going to the well of bringing up the point total.
Yep.
Over under, because that feels like a fun way to maybe remove some of the variance of wins and losses. Sean, can they score 24.5 points per game like they did last year? Can they score? But can they basically last year they scored 25 points a game? Can they score 24.5 points a game this year?
I'm not messing with points on this one.
All right.
What do you do? Are you going to add a points bet?
I think I don't see how this offense isn't good. Isn't going to move the ball. Isn't going to. Justin Jefferson had touchdown regression, like you were saying.
Yeah, no, that's the other
Mark
good point.
Mark me down. Over 415.5. Bad defenses in the conference. 2 games against the Bears. 2 games against the Lions.
All right, you talked me into it.
I haven't been throwing these out for every team, but some of these teams, it seems like the totals are gonna, like the Vikings having the highest total on the board every week could be a thing this year.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, that's pretty much we can be done. We can be done. Division pass leader. That's what we wanted to talk about.
What are we looking at here?
NFC North. Kirk Cousins minus 150.
Kirk Cousins -150.
Most passing yards.
I don't know. Laying that number.
It's not good. What about receiving? Do you want to hear?
I mean, what's Justin Jefferson -200, -300? It's got to be a
-360.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got to be a pretty big favorite.
It's almost not even worth.
No, I think both them. I'm not touching it.
All right,
Kirk's getting up there. I can't lay -150.
So we'll just do the exacta.
The exacta, make playoffs. Madison under, over 415.5 points, over 8.5 wins.
Yeah, I think that's it. I think that's all I got. Again, another team where it's like, I certainly could see a version of them like not being good, but it would involve Kirk Cousins getting hurt. I hate to say it, but if Kirk Cousins stays healthy, can they really be worse than like a 7-win team?
You like that?
They play. I mean,
the version where they go bad is the defense is too aggressive and gets exposed, and then all of a sudden they're like 5-12, which I think is in the realm of possibilities.
I think Kirk Cousins has to go hurt.
10-7, I like.
All right, last thing.
But I think we'll know early on with this Vikings team.
Do you? So yeah, you're probably right. That we'll see how they look against them. If they come out and get their ass beat by the Bucks, that will be a tough look. You can bet on them to lose in the wild card round at +350.
Oh man, that's like taking candy from a baby. No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, we don't need to do that. We don't need. No, that we did enough.
It's just a silly bet because you don't know who they're gonna play. Could end up playing the Giants. It's an easy win.
We're
Ryan,
good. We got everything down.
We got everything down. Time for everyone's favorite part of the show, naming the Minnesota Vikings 2023 MLD, aka most likely DGen. Kramer, do you want to start?
I assume you're not going to use Jordan Addison for claiming to have to speed at 140 miles an hour for a dog medical emergency. No, I'll go happily go first.
Okay.
And this is less about the likelihood that this man would get caught sports gambling and more about a combination of his origin from Brooklyn, New York. All right. Already sketchy. Coached with the Patriots through all the cheating years.
Oh, wow.
Then went to the Dolphins where the owner got hit with some tampering. Lawsuits were filed, sued the NFL because his childhood team, the New York Giants, and close personal friend John Mara blackballed him. He's on the list. He's literally if the commissioner was Steve Buscemi, Brian Flores' name would be written in lipstick on his wall. So if you're talking about a situation, I don't know if this man gambles. I know he likes to blitz, but I don't give a shit. This is going to be a frame job. Brian Flores back in the league, short lease. Maybe some lawsuit pops back up. I don't know. It's going to be something dirty. But when we find out that Brian Flores is getting suspended for gambling on games, let's remember. Let's remember to ask the right questions.
Earl James asking anyone on the roster from Iowa.
Ooh.
Here, I was going to select this gentleman because my mindset is right there with you. I mean, apparently everyone in Iowa just loves gambling. Iowa State. They just.
Well, what else is there to do there?
Iowa, we need
to get J-Mark to go out there on location and find out what's going on.
You just hang out, you drink whiskey, you talk about fantasy football, and you bet on the games you're playing in. The Iowa kicker is now accused of gambling on Iowa State placing the under, which is a kicker. I mean, come on. There is a guy on the team, Kine Nwangwu.
Oh, the running back.
Yes, who is out of Iowa State. So he's right there in that hornet's nest.
You could have gone much bigger. TJ Hawkinson went to Iowa.
He's an Iowa guy.
Tight end U. Who knew that tight end U is really DGen U?
DGen U. I wasn't going to play up the Iowa angle. The Iowans have suffered enough.
Oh,
and
that's nice of you.
if you were an Iowa athlete who gambled on games, feel free to DM us. We won't blow your spot up. I am going against the grain. First off, this guy's name just jumped off the page. Give me offensive lineman D2 UDFA Jackie Chen. That's right. One of the few Asian Americans in the NFL. A pretty cool story. His parents are immigrants from China. Now, if you know, that's been a study released that concluded that in Chinese American communities, problematic gambling 1.5 to 5 times higher than those of non-Chinese people. Ryan, we know
#Legends only.
our Asian brothers love to get down, love some action. It was tough trying to research Jackie Chan because obviously anytime you put that in, Google goes, "You must mean Jackie Chan." I'm like, no, I'm talking about the offensive lineman from Pace. It's a cool story. So
I just Googled that. The first thing that comes up, Jackie Chan reveals how he blew his fortune on women, gambling, and quote, generous gifts.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we've been there, right?
#Legends only.
The rest of the money he wasted.
Please just update mine to Jackie Chan. Jackie Chan. In his memoir, he states he visited prostitutes. I mean, he routinely visited prostitutes and gambling dens.
Jackie Chan.
Yeah, we need to get Jackie.
We need to get
book.
Jackie Chan on the show and Jackie Chan.
It's called Never Grow Up. We need to get this book.
All right, that sounds like a lot of fun. So my my MLD, Jackie Chen, Kramer's Brian Flores. I got him going 10-7. Kramer talked me into the over 415.5 points. Madison under 900.5 rushing yards, make playoffs plus 104. The Green Bay Mini exacta plus 70 plus 750. The exacta box over 8.5 wins. Kramer similar, but you got the division in there plus 275. No playoffs, no Madison hate, and you got them going 9-8.
We're seeing eye to eye on this one. Skull.
Set week 2.
Do we make the graphic for our MLDs for this episode just a rush hour thing with Jackie Chan and Brian Flores
and Jackie Chan? The problem, I mean.
Is that offensive? I think it's pretty funny.
They could have their own action movie. Brian Flores and Jackie Chan.
Roger Goodell's the evil guy.
Imagine Brian Flores yelling at Jackie Chan, the offensive line.
You dumb motherfucker!
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. You got to pick up this blitz, Jackie Chan.
Well, hopefully he makes the team.
It's really a cool story. His wife's or his girlfriend's pregnant, trying to get a family. It's really like the immigrant story of America.
Is there a couch involved?
Couch?
Jeremy Lin slept on a couch. I just wonder if there's a couch involved.
I mean,
they always have a couch, right? Kurt Warner slept on his teammate's couch because he was just bagging groceries. He didn't have a house. That's the best part of the almost made the team. Which, by the way, Sean, if he doesn't make the team, he can't get suspended.
Oh, okay.
So let's hope he makes the team. I want to get one of these right, because if we get one of these right, Sean, God help the internet. It's gonna be the ultimate.
We will
tout.
never forget this.
We're gonna tout it so hard. People are gonna be so upset with us. You can't predict gambling suspension. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Why do you? The world's really fucked up. Anyway, Rush Hour 4 coming to your theater
Rush Hour 4
soon.
coming to a theater near you. More NFL previews coming to your podcast feed. YouTube.com/sportsgamblingpodcast. Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Support the war on corporate gambling. Sign up for our Patreon, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
Can I make a prediction?
Sure.
Bonus prediction. Someone's gonna send us an angry message about this episode. They're not gonna like our Vikings predictions.
No. Why? Because they're too high on
They're serious Rush Hour fans.
Okay.
That's why.
Well, we have a lot of film critics.
How dare we make fun of Jackie Chan?
Trevor saying in the YouTube chat, great show, gents. Thank you, Trevor. Salud.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
Next up, Steelers, Seahawks, and Browns on Friday.
Kramer, let it ride.